when you understand that, where addictions come from is actually the appetite, what you have been doing with your soul and your body before your spirit man was reborn. That is where addictions come from. Let me give you a few definitions. This is introductory class to it. Now, to be addicted is to be hooked on something. To be addicted is to be hooked on something. To be at a state where you are no longer in control of what you are hooked on. To be addicted is to be hooked on something. To be at a state where you are no longer in control of what you are hooked on. An addiction is a pathological relationship. Please note that. I'm going to explain. A pathological relationship to mood-altering experience or experiences that has life-damaging consequences. A pathological relationship to mood-altering. Most time people are hooked on things because they can give.
Welcome to Kingdom Come News. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspirational content like this. Now back to your video.
Them a new reality. More likely where you have virtual reality. This addiction is a form of psychological reality. An addiction, all right, is a habit or practice that damages. A habit or practice that damages, jeopardizes, or shortens one's life or quality of life. And when ceased, causes trauma. All right, don't forget what I said. To be addicted is to be hooked. It is when something is holding you down longer than you want to stay. That's what it means to be addicted. Now, it is very important that you understand how addictions form so you can know how to come out. I want to give us a background. How do they form? How do we form addictions? Now, as I made my research on these different forms of addiction, we're going to pick them one by one. I discovered that most people develop certain habits within certain age range. You are more likely to be prone to certain habits within certain age range. Most times they are formed early through wrong exposure. Children, teenagers, they are more prone to developing certain habits as a way of escaping the challenges of their own reality. What people do is that you create a reality that is an escape. That's how they are formed. That's the first way. Number two, most addictions are formed when people are in their lowest moment. Please note that. They are formed when people are in their lowest moment. All right? Look at this. When you go through your lowest moment in life, what you have is pain. Maybe the moment of divorce, moment of isolation, moment of depression. Somebody has just lost a job. Somebody has just lost a child. Somebody has just lost this. That moment where you hit your all-time low. What happens is that you start looking for a way to escape the reality of that feeling. And to escape the reality of that feeling, there is a cave system that people can now crawl into as a way of escaping the reality. It happens when there's isolation. Are you following what I'm saying here? It's a cave system. Somebody is sad, but he doesn't want to think about it, then escape into something. That thing you are escaping into becomes a hand that holds you longer than you want to stay. Do you know that that's how people even develop phone addictions? See a couple talking, and if the man does not want, what the woman is saying is simple. And women, please, you need to understand this. As men, we may have 6 packs, but we fear you guys. I think the most devastating, not devastating thing you can tell a man that can shake his foundation is, I need to talk to you, particularly when you are not smiling. Babe, we need to talk. The guys start thinking, could it be that? Then it comes. And when you are talking, as a way of not giving all the attention so that thing will not eat him too much, he needs to deflect it. It's just like falling from a building. There's a way you fall, your spine will crack. You want to share the weight. So people share weight of life issues on other things so it can be deflected there. Then you see pressing phone. Say, babe, I'm talking to you. I have ears. I can hear you. Say, I'm not just pressing phone. I'm doing something. I'm talking with a business partner. No, you are escaping. And if care is not taken, it's a way to escape the reality of this life. You're right. Things are going on. You don't want to feel the heat. Social media. And as much as they are creating all these social media platforms, all these things, they are good, but they are also dangerous. Because you will develop a life outside of natural human interactions. If care is not taken, you come to a point where you can no longer relate with people. Some of the leading cause of erectile dysfunction is pornography. Keep into it. And then there's a way these algorithms seem to listen to what you are saying. That if you talk about shoes, they will bring the advertisement. And before you know it, this. As you are looking at social media, depending on the areas that is catching your attention, you can get used to just window shopping. What's the price of this? Price of that? And before you know it, all right, anxiety is forming. You're already anxious. How much are they selling this car now? Just checking. Some people have saved over 100 gowns. Screenshot the picture. I'm not saying it's bad, but just small, eh? What the devil, listen to what I'm saying. The most important battle cry of the devil is to get anybody into isolation. That's the most important. That is the most important thing. Get people into isolation. Get them cut off from people. Get them off their normal relationships. Get them off this. Now we are seeing people are dying in their house and they have died for 2 months. Nobody knows because they are not interacting with people. They won't greet their neighbors. And it looks as though the richer you become, the more isolated you become. There's no beauty to any big house if you don't have people inside. There are things that God has provided that they define wealth at this level of wisdom. People, relationships, the fact that we can interact. And let me beg you something. As God lifts you, never throw away human relationship, because there's the tendency to get into isolation because of fear. People will hurt you, but you still need people. You're going to build it. You're going to build it. In fact, it's now so bad that people want to get married. There's nobody that can be their best man or chief bridesmaid. They call people that they have no emotional connection to and say, can you help? Say, I can help. Build the relationships, quality ones. People you can laugh together, play together, cry together, love God together. Is that okay now? And sometimes they may not understand your reality, but it does not change the fact that you need them. That's the fact. Very important. The most important battle cry of the devil is to get a person into isolation. Most display of addictions happens in isolation. Nobody just owns a laptop. Put a laptop here, start playing pornography. Nobody will do it. He will not have erection because sin repels light. It happens in the dark. You are hooked on pornography, you will notice you always off light. And look at the way we are looking now. People in Sphere of Light Church fell from heaven. Maybe this message, I'm even teaching it. How will I be teaching people who are this Holy Ghost field about addiction? They don't understand what I'm saying, but I will teach it because people don't look like what they are going through. And you don't have to look like it. Trying to look like your problem is a sign of low self-esteem. We are trying to call attention that I'm not as important as you think, but you are important. Very important. People form addiction at their lowest moment. What the devil does is to get into isolation, then give you a toy. That's what he likes. Get into isolation and then give you a toy. Are you aware that flirting is an addiction? Just randomly telling girls that you look amazing. Random sampling. We don't talk about these things in church because people don't look like it in suit, but I will talk about it. Just like to take girls high, then disappear. You will just get missing in their life. He's calling. He will do that for like 2 weeks. Just once he sees that, okay, then disappear. He's no longer talking to her again. He's moved to another girl. Wow, I love the gown you wore to church today. It's so gorgeous. He has all these sweet words. He doesn't like her. He's just used to raising their dopamine. That's who he is. And he doesn't even know that what he's doing is bad. He doesn't know. It gets to a point that it becomes wickedness. Because you are not going to browse the site, you keep hanging around it. And the girls are keeping seat. Only for you not to go and sit down. I'm saying, no, we need to talk about the issue of flirting. I say it can be an addiction. Always commenting under the post of fine girls. You are the most beautiful girl I've seen today. Always. If you check 5 posts, he's liking them, all the fine girls. And say, I just love the beauty of creation. A tree is not part of creation, my brother. Did God not make the birds of the air? There's toxic admiration. There's toxic admiration. I don't know if girls flirt with boys, but somebody sent me a message. Somebody sent me a message on Instagram and say, I just like you. Can I take you on a local dish date? I say, Egbami. All of the work in front of me, this is what you are sending. I just screenshot the thing and forwarded to my wife. See, somebody likes your husband. In case the girl is here, I've reported you. Because these things thrive when you keep quiet. Yes. Somebody likes you as a married man. Tell your wife. The day you tell your wife, that's the day it dies. Women and territory, they will keep you safe. Your wife will just come to the office at the time that secretary is trying to serve tea and say, can you excuse us? The owner is here. Nothing is more humbling like when the wife of a man shows up and send all the crushes out. Can you please excuse us? I want to talk to my husband. Don't colonize your wife. You'll be a world without defense. Don't colonize your wife. Don't colonize your wife. I said it that don't marry a man whose phone you can't check. There's people, Nigerians, no problem. What is even shocking was that women were also hating the statement because they were raised in abuse. There's a way abuse can school you that you can't do life without it. At the peak of abuse, you fall in love with your abuser. Are you following what I'm saying? That's the truth. The moment there's something not to check, then another world is building. It will destroy the home. It will. It doesn't matter how innocent it is. I tell myself, all the thing that God wants me to enjoy in a woman is in my wife. Period. Any other thing is vain imagination. Period. That's the fact. You don't seem to like that statement. You are quiet. Ben, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Or you have left the WhatsApp group? When people go through pain, the devil uses that pain to lure them into his own world. It gives them a form of escape that will become a slave master. Form of escape. Number 3, addictions are formed sometimes through curiosity. Curiosity. I want to know what this feels like. Those who are addicted to alcohol were not born like that. It started from sending them to return bottles and then drinking what is left. That was how I had my first taste of Gouda. I said, these two people are drinking. Let me check. I drank. I said, it is bitter. They know, maybe it's not bitter. Let me go to one cup. Maybe it's this one that is bitter. That's how you will go. The bitter thing will now become sweet. I know we have defense that the Bible didn't actually say that you should not drink alcohol. Today is not the day. I'm going to come to that subject. In fact, I'm not going to tell you whether it's good or bad. I'll just show you the effect across scriptures. If you like it, copy and paste it. Just very simple. People form addiction through curiosity. At some point, you wanted to know what it feels like to talk to a girl. Then you want to know what it feels like to touch a girl. One time, I wanted to know what it feels like to kiss a girl. So there's one girl in church, always talking, always going home. I've seen things in this life. I will stand in front of the mirror and practice. After we have talked, we talk. Instead of me to go to my house, I will trek. Like you are trekking from here to central area. You trek and just be gisting. I practice how I will do it. I will hold her hands, I will look at her and kiss the girl. So that was exactly what I did. We just left church. I have not gotten home. I have done it. Then I was so happy that, see, this was it feels like. Then of course you now enter into buyer's remorse. That is not really just there. As I left the girl, she said, bye-bye, say you too, bye-bye. See you some other time. She will like it. I now discovered that the car that was parked in front is my dad's car. The moment we were done with him, he just moved and left and went home. Hey, I got home and I saw him sitting down watching news. I just said in my mind, see, if you will rebuke me, do it. Don't stress me. So I said church was fine. I said, hey, yes. So it was really fine. I said, yes. Say, wow. Oh, you came late. Say, actually, say, okay, go inside now. Till today, we have not talked about it. We have not talked about the matter. Curiosity. And people go on a journey where there's no return. Curiosity. Number 4, addiction can be the resultant effect of some trauma or abuse. Addiction can be a resultant effect of trauma or abuse. So I'm going to show you there are 2 ways people respond to trauma when it comes to, in respect to abuse. There are 2 ways people respond to trauma in respect to abuse. Are you with me? Are you with me? Number 1, they begin to use the same thing that the abuser have done or something similar to ease their pain. The same thing or something similar to ease their pain. Maybe somebody took advantage of someone sexually, and the person begins to use something similar to that to ease the pain. Number 2, some can't just help but going back to what was done to them. While it was psychologically hurting, it seemed like they enjoyed the experience. They keep going back. Let me say this to you. In this regard, please get me right. You can be addicted to abuse. You can be addicted to being cut down to sizes because you just feel you don't deserve better. Yes, you can be. And then somebody can, maybe a woman raped a boy and then he didn't like it. But later he finds out that he didn't like it because of the woman, but he likes the experience. Then he begins that same experience with other people. All right? And then he can't stop. Most people who are doing things that they can't stop, somebody introduced them to it. And most times they are trusted people. They are trusted people. People that the family believe can't hurt a fly. And that's the problem in African home. We raise children for other people. We use our children to prove to others the kind of parents that we are. We don't raise those children for their future. They know that if they do something, they will get a different kind of beating if it is done before guests. Not because you are trying to discipline the child, because you are trying to prove to the guests, this is not the way we raise our children. What you do is that you build something in them called toxic admiration. They begin to see guests as better than them, because even the best plates in the house are used for guests. If you have a guest that now begin to touch that child, because you have built a culture of toxic admiration, the child can't talk. They see guests as special angels. It's a bad way to raise children. I'm going to touch parenting a bit here. Unfortunately, so this is Christmas period and many children will be abused again. And the parents keep taking them back to the same family house where they are abusing them, because they trust the uncle over their own children. Some have not even built the system of knowing when your daughter is saying no. Are you aware that it is important to train your children to learn to say no? When they are affirmative and they are saying, I don't just say it's stubborn. Understand that you are to train their will. Make them stand enough to say no. If you kill that thing, they will not be able to say no to outsiders. Then sit down there. Say, mommy, no. They are curious. Why should I sit down? Explain. See, the problem in Africa begins from childhood. Because we kill curiosity. We kill the ability to explain. So we are trying to raise children like zombies. You don't question, you obey. And no society change until you question realities. You must question. Yes, sir. We just say these things and say, when I talk to you, you don't complain. No, they should ask questions. That's how it starts. They are curious. They are wondering, why? Why would you just suddenly say I should have the cartoon? Children who are raised with explanation become better than those who are raised with force. And that's why when many children step out of their parent house, they know they will never come back. Because a soldier raised them. You didn't raise a friend. It is amazing how we become emotionally distant throughout their life. But when they start making money, we want to become friends. It becomes too late. It doesn't work anymore. You must understand that. Let me touch a bit on parenting. Are you with me? Are you getting blessed? Are you sure? Now I'm going to touch on a few things here. Some children began their journey into pornography because they saw it on their parents' phone. Yes. Maybe the father and the mother have a kind of magazine they put under their bed. You put something under your bed. Are you raising fools? You're not raising fools now. They will check the bed. They check everywhere. They check everywhere and they see it. And they will never talk. If some parents know the things some of their children have discovered about them, they probably will not be shouting the way they are shouting. The child knows many things just looking at them. The daddy is an elder in church, always saying, do you know that this is how we do in a Christian home? The girl is just looking, elder. Because we forget that leadership is first a lifestyle. By example. You want to raise godly children, be godly parent. That's the way it is done. You can't give what you don't have. Are you following what I'm saying here? Some children began their journey into pornography, and some people can say, this is true. In fact, some began their journey to pornography by seeing it on their cousin's phone, the brothers, and all that. I know you love people, but you must doctor the environment for the sake of your children. Very important. Create right environment for children to grow. Let me say this to you. When it comes to parenting, suspect everybody. What did I say? When it comes to parenting, do what? Suspect everybody. Suspect the person taking care of the child. Suspect the teacher in school. Suspect all those that have access. You see, the moment you stop being suspicious, you are lowering your guard. Sometimes just break into, all right, the place where they maybe did not need the school. Check. Permit me to use this word. There are funny people out there. There are funny people out there who will do many things to children. Let me share this with you. There was a boy. This boy was in, I can't remember, maybe nursery 3 then or primary 1, I can't remember. But it was around 7, 8. He has been expelled from 3 schools at that age. All right, so what he does is that when girls are leaving the class, going to toilet or ease themselves, he will follow them. Then he will start touching their genitals. Some of them are bold enough to come back to report. Sometimes the teachers will catch him, then they will expel him. And the teachers were complaining that even if you are flogging this boy, as you are flogging him, you will notice that your money is missing. Yes, right there. He's become so much of an expert that before you are done, your money is gone. He will remove the money. All right, and he won't cry. I became interested in his case. What is going on? I have this, that. Let me handle this boy's case. I went to his house to see his parents. When I got to the house, I knocked. Nobody was answering. I knocked, but I saw that the door was not locked. So I opened. A family I knew. So I opened. Then I met the boy. I met the 2 elder brothers seated, and in front of them a large television where they were watching pornography. Any work that takes you away from your children has taken too much from you. God's design of prosperity is not to make money at the expense of your family. I know you want to give them a good life. Having made that money, who will spend it? The children that your absence have destroyed? The children, you cannot outsource parenting. You can't. You can't. You have to be on ground. You are a single mother. Something has happened. The father left, or maybe he's even no more. Trust God for grace to be everything to that child. Try your best and pray. Don't just give up and say, "Oh, now that there's no father figure, what's going to happen?" No. You have remarried. You now have your own husband who happened to be the child's stepfather. Don't say he's the stepfather. No. We have found wicked things in this world. That a man can sleep with the mother and sleep with the child. And when they complain, abuse the both of them. Sometimes the woman has found out, but we protect the man. And we rather call the girl a prostitute. That are you trying to insult me? And sometimes it's not even the stepfather, it is the father of the child. If your husband is an abuser, call him out. I'm not saying go to social. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. All right? But I'm talking about make your children know that you stand for the truth. Listen. Anyone you protect at the expense of your child, you have won that person and lost that child. That pain will never go away. Unfortunately, that pain becomes a foundation for another dysfunctionality in that child. Becomes a pain, a problem. Many of you know uncles that till today your parents still don't know. But you know this is an abuser. They still consider them good men. But if only they know that this guy is a wolf in sheep clothing. And parents will choose to trust the guy because every Christmas he brings a bag of rice. How many children can boldly walk to their parents and say, "This man touched me"? Because in Africa, we rather not talk about it. What we say is that if the day a man touch you, you get pregnant. How? Let her know from young age through songs. These are sensitive parts of your body. Convert lessons into absorbable forms. Sing it out. Let them sing it. There are many songs like that. Train them to. Then the way you will raise a girl child is different from the way you will raise a male child. The world is hostile against women. You must first know that. Everybody wants to sleep with her, even from young age. I've seen people that were arrested for touching 3-month-old baby. What will you gain? That sometimes there are bruises, sometimes, that the child that grows right into adulthood and can no longer respond to sex in an exciting way. That it is no longer exciting, now it's pain. All right, there are different things like that. There are practices, female genital mutilation, wickedness against women. Because they want to curtail immorality. We are not cultural, we are scriptural. That's our reference. Because these things run deep, the devil used that pain to draw them in a way to escape it. That's how addictions are formed. Use the pain to lure them with their pain. There are women that also abuse males. So teachers in school. And sometimes it's emotional abuse. The guy is passing, just eat his bum, eat his genitals. That's a man. Why are you doing that? Raise your children to be bold, to question their oppressors. No, you don't talk to me like that. Teach them to defend themselves. It's not a way of being rude. It's a way of being human. Don't kill their voice only to wonder why they are dull. Give them a voice. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Are you being blessed? The house is quiet. When it comes to parenting, never really trust your children into anyone's hands. Give room for suspicion, particularly when it comes to your female children. Permit me, please, to give that exception. Now, create an atmosphere where they can express themselves. Never cut their affirmative nature because you want to lead them. They must be bold enough to reject what they don't want. Be careful of building a culture of toxic admiration in your children. When other children come, I need to teach this. Because really, where addiction is coming from, we don't touch it. We just believe it's about pornography. No. There is something, there is a pain that the devil is taking advantage of. We must go to the source. Are you following what I'm saying now? There are people that even in their adult stage, they are making their money. Sure, they are making their own money. They bought their plates and their cutleries and they can't eat with the best. They kept that one for visitors because the upbringing said anybody who is visiting is better than you. They can't even eat correctly with their own money. If they take too much, they start feeling guilty. Their money. Because when you train your child, that is how he will go. Their money. You raise children to have toxic admiration. See, I tell my wife, when we have guests, it doesn't matter who it is, we bless God for the guest. But you are the most important person to me. Very important. Thank God for the guest. See, let me tell you this. Let the person be a pastor or a bishop. Anybody you honor above your husband is not wisdom. The moment your pastor comes to visit, you serve the pastor in the way you have never served your husband that paid your bride price. Where was this pastor in the days you were single? He said, God bless you, and married his own wife. No, we need to balance. Are you? No, you are quiet. Men, come back to the WhatsApp group. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
The best plates and cutleries in your house, who are they for? The day pastors come to greet. I have my own wife, and she honors me the way no one else can. Honor your own husband. The Bible said, women, love your own husband, not another person's husband. Honor your own husband, not another person's. Honor your own. Honor your own. Your own. Then men, love your wife, not another person's wife, including the one who is not married. Your own. Channel your affection towards your own. Then let your own too honor you. Don't build a culture of toxic admiration. Oh, wow. See who came to our house. Thank God for who is here. Or we are also important. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Are you learning something? Now listen to this. Now this is where it gets serious. I have 5 minutes more to wrap up from here. Now addictions form mostly from toxic environments. Addictions form mostly from toxic environments. People who are from less toxic environments are less prone to addictions. That is what the environment communicates, the possibilities, what they see, what they hear. All right, a child can sit among some people and then they start saying things, some things about nudity, and these are things that will form imaginations that of the child. The child starts wondering, picks his phone, check online. You don't know a journey has started. Some of you heard about sex for the first time because somebody was describing it. You are watching a movie, they are kissing and talk. Now, are you aware they've stepped it up now? They've stepped it. They are no longer afraid of showing any part of genitals. You now say, hey, close your eyes. That child will now go back. That part that they say I should close my eyes was there. We go back, reverse it, and check. Say, this is what they don't want me to see, but they're enjoying it. I don't believe any movie is 18 plus. Some are not for Christians, period. No, if you are going to walk in purity, you must put a guard. You can't afford for anything to just come. Are you with me? Are you sure? Now look at this. Create an atmosphere that is conducive for the lifestyle you want to see in your house. There are songs that when people hear the lyrics of the songs is enough to start something. The lyrics, what they are saying is vulgar. There used to be a body that checks all these things in Nigeria. Now anything goes. Someone was asking, what's my greatest fear for the Gen Z world? I said, lack of censorship. A world where anything goes and everybody is free to do anything. When we have a world like that, it is hell. There must be walls for sanity. There must be walls. There must be restrictions. There must be. If not, people will kill themselves and say anything goes. You open the gate and tell people you have 24 hours to do anything you want to do. Blood will flow. Because some people want to kill. Some want to rape. They are going through pain and they feel you must feel my pain. The society must be hot. And that's why I have concerns for our correctional systems in Nigeria. The prison services. People don't go there and get corrected. They go there and come back hardened. Most prisoners are coming there for the 5th time, 4th time. Because they meet higher prisoners there that give them contract that will bring them back. We went to preach in the prison. Amongst those that came to accept Jesus, they stole my phone. Life no balance. No. Are you see? But that doesn't mean that it's not saved. But that appetite is the part that stole my phone now. And we began to ask, please, because they said we should drop phone outside. Me too, pastor. Did not drop phone. I kept it somewhere. The boys have seen it. I was present just to say, Father, I accept you as my Lord and Savior. Phone is gone. Let me say this to you. Anything you consistently do becomes the atmosphere around you. Anything you do constantly. If you get to a place where people pray, you will notice that you will not have to push to break through the atmosphere of prayer. It is there. The possibility is there. Consistent actions bet possibilities in atmospheres. Go to a place where people are always doing immorality. You just notice that there is a spirit that seems to be colonizing you, bringing the thought of immorality. This can encroach in your heart. Are you with me? You want to create an atmosphere where children can be raised with sanity. Create an atmosphere of prayer, of worship. Sometimes just let worship song. See, this issue of I'm struggling with prayer. See, listen, you will struggle. It's just like a man who has left the wife throughout the day, never called her, didn't check up on her, come at night and say, baby, offer. You will struggle small. But you don't want to struggle at night. Find a way to fill our emotional tank during the day. Hey, babe, just checking up on you. Got you some apples. Hi there. How you doing? Selfie. Check this out. You are filling the emotional tank. You want to pray 3 hours at night, you must know how to build during the day. Worship, listen to a message. So see, listen, this thing is not just done by Superman. There's a science to it. If you have not built during the day, you want to just come off and do 3 hours, you will struggle. Learn to build, create an atmosphere. Let sometimes just instrumental playing, charging the atmosphere. You will notice that your spirit will begin to pray first. Later, you will catch up. You will notice that you just get to a point that your spirit is praying. Your spirit is praying. Listen to what I'm saying. There are people who are addicted to something. In the middle of the addiction, while they are doing it, either smoking or watching pornography, they notice my spirit is singing worship. What is happening? The spirit is renewed. It is your nature of your soul that needs to catch up. Create an atmosphere for it to catch up. These things are not hard if we understand the science. Atmospheres, all right? Now you are watching. I love boxing so much. Thank God Anthony Joshua won today. I said I'm so excited. I love boxing. When there's boxing match, I'm praying, Makali, Lord help them. The day they beat my person, I'm coming to church, I'm struggling. Oh God, help me, deliver me from this boxing. Well, I'm saying I'm still not delivered till now. Still not delivered. But sometimes you want to wonder, it's fight they are fighting. What is a girl with short skirt coming to do and say round 5? What is your own? If they punch you, will you stay? They are fighting here. Let somebody who is wearing something. But because it's a system, and the idea of the system is to bring you in a path, to get to a point where you have no control. It's a system. And what do? Build counter systems. Build counter systems. Build counter systems. I'm going to show you practically how to come out. All right, but on Tuesday, Boxing Day, we are going to be here to discuss various forms of addictions. All right, then we'll start touching them one by one. Are you with me? Now, let me wrap up with this. The danger of addiction is this. Now, listen. Is that the devil wants the will of man, but he has found that the cheapest means for him to do it is to get the man to be hooked on something he likes. Then he can come behind the scene and use that thing to control him, to make him do. So let me look at this. Look at this. Why did the Bible say that those that receive the mark of the beast are doomed? All right, Revelation 13. Because it is something that will collect the will of anybody that accepts it. That is, from that day, you can no longer make certain decisions. You'll be manipulated. I'm not here to talk about that yet. Is that okay now? The moment there is something there that the devil can now use to control the will, what that means is that the chances for the process of God to continue become slim. That thing is going to be the thief of your seasons. Once there is addiction, it will steal seasons. Seasons are time pregnant with a specific reality. It will steal preparation so that manifestation will be empty. The moment your time is not in your control, the devil is winning. And that's what he wants to do. That it's a prison system. The things you want to do, you can't do them. You can't decide when you eat. You can't decide when you go out. You can't decide when you see people. Something keeps you indoor longer than you want to stay. You promise people, I'll come and greet you. You can't go. Because that thing holds you back all the time. We're going to go out today and see this. You can't step out. They wonder, what are you doing indoors? Something is still in it. That's what it does. The devil wants to master you. And the cheapest way to do that is to get you hooked. It's going to master you. When he perceives that something is coming that is good, he quickly comes. Make it often. You miss the season. And people are at different levels in this. Some weekly, some monthly, some daily, some hourly. I'm going to show you how to deal with each of these things. Amen. But this is the consciousness. And you must understand this. You are not in that fight alone. That's the consciousness. It doesn't matter what we have described. The grace of God is there to pull you out. Where sin abides, grace abides much more. The duty of that grace is to bring you out of that mess. Are you following what I'm saying here? What you do is that you yield to the energy of the Spirit in your spirit. You yield. Start putting controls in your environment so you will not frustrate the works of grace. Make it easy. Get out from toxic environment. Stop meeting friends that talk about women. Get out from toxic environment. Protect your heart. Protect your heart. The moment there's no gate over this heart, we'll be finished. Protect your heart. New year is starting. How many years have been wasted on the altar of that addiction? Some 10, some 12, some 15, some for as long as they can remember. And the question is, will you ever be free? Yes. But you have a role to play. You have a role to play. And that's why all the scriptures we read spoke about your duty. Now reckon ye yourselves to be slaves to righteousness. We lay aside filthiness. We lay aside with the pumping of the grace on our inside. You can lay it aside. You can. One of the ways to lay something aside to block some numbers. Every time they upload on their status, nude women. Why? If you mute, you still go. Many of you have over 10 muted contacts. That's the one you always go and check. True? So don't mute. Write the number somewhere, then delete it. So that you will not see it. I'm about to tell people, I'm sorry, I deleted your contact. I'm very honest. Say, Apostle, I don't see yourself. Say, sorry, I deleted your contact. I deleted it because I don't like what you are posting. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. For my own health, I can't form Superman. Man of God is still man. Yes, I can't form Superman. When you put that in there, I saw my body responded. It should not, but I don't like it, so I have to delete it. Don't say that. Now, where we have reached in the Holy Ghost, my body can no longer respond. They play. Where we have reached now, the level we are in the mountain, they didn't tell you. Abraham was always on the mountain. It was one suggestion Sarah gave. He went in straight. Why? Because he's been thinking about it. This guy is not bad. Some suggestions will make you ready for the day the opportunity comes. Wait it. Let's lift our hands to God. Say, I embrace grace in the name of Jesus.
Thank you for watching Kingdom Come News. We hope you were blessed by this inspirational content. Please do well to subscribe to our channel, like and share with your friends. And don't forget to hit that notification button so that when we post an inspirational content like this, you'll be the first to be notified. Until then, remain blessed. See you in the next edition.